Hey there everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Should You Pull for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Now this week we've got a character coming out that I know is a big favourite for a lot of people in Cid Highwind. He's an FF7 character, so he's a favourite for everybody there because FF7 characters are always going to be interesting. And he's going to be joining us alongside Zell and Rem without their EX weapons, unfortunately. So do we think that this banner is going to be worth pulling on? Do we want to have a look at what the character does with their EX? Or do we want to look at what the banner mates do within the realms of the event itself? If you'd like to know more about Cid's EX, his kit, everything about him and his banner mates, then stay tuned and keep on watching. As always guys, don't forget to check out all of the social links in the description box below, including my Discord chat where we all talk about our favourite characters in Opera Omnia, Final Fantasy TCG, all sorts of other things as well, and my Twitch channel which I've been working really hard on recently, and I've just broken 1,000 followers on Twitch, so I very much encourage you to come and check that out, especially if you want to come and watch me playing Opera Omnia, so you can see that there is some bite behind my bark as well as anything else, as well as my Patreon channel where I've got early access videos for everybody, and I'm looking at overhauling my Patreon very soon so that I can do more for you guys and so that I can continue to give back to the people that support me. As I always do when it comes to any of my Should You Pull videos, I'm going to start with the two characters who aren't the primary feature of the banner, and I'm going to start with Zell. Now, this portion of this video is going to be really quite short because unfortunately without their EX weapons these days, many characters just fall off, especially characters who have already had their EX weapons released. And Zell is one of those characters. Zell is particularly bad because Zell's kit involves him having to use a attack like Punch Rush or Booyah, so one of his regular skills which is just a bravery attack that isn't going to do a lot until after you've used them and they transform into Burning Rave and Meteor Barrage where they become HP attacks. So even with his level 55 and 60 crystal passives, he doesn't get very far until he's using Burning Rave and or Meteor Barrage, and he has to kind of alternate between them and it becomes really awkward. His damage can be quite high when he's using Burning Rave and Meteor Barrage, but nowhere near the levels of some of the characters that we've had recently like Jecht or Sephiroth or Rinoa or Golbez or even Kuja. There's loads of characters that just outdamage Zell really quite significantly, so I certainly wouldn't be pulling on this banner for Zell. And then going into Rem, unfortunately it's very much a similar story as it is to Zell, although Rem does have one thing up on Zell in her swap turns ability, which does give her a cute little niche where she can give her turn to somebody else, but it's still going to take skill uses. You do get some nice buffs when it comes to using swap turns, so you get like some more attack, you get some more bravery, you get a max brave up. If you know, she gets an HP attack plus at that point. If you don't have her EX though, she's just not got the longevity of a lot of characters. So again, the support characters that are out there, even characters that don't have an EX like Lilith or Aiko, are gonna just perform better than Rem will. But if you really want to kind of focus all your party into one character, then you could try and grab some of her stuff. And if you get it, then you maybe won't want to sell it straight away for Power Stones. But personally, I don't think I'm going to be using Rem without an EX anytime soon. So now we get to look at the main character for this banner, and it's going to be Cid EX. Now Cid has a fairly interesting kit. We have had him come out once already, so at the end of the 35 CP era before EXs started to come about, around the sort of same time Sephiroth did. And his kit's quite interesting. So at a base, he basically gets a Brave Attack Plus and an HP Attack Plus that are slightly different because they're named attacks after he uses his Hyper Jump or Dragon Dive abilities. So what they'll do is they'll turn Brave Attack into Boost Jump, which is just a quicker bravery attack that has a wind element attached to it, and then Dragon heals him as he attacks. And then if you have his gear as well, he'll get his Dragon Dive will have a Dispel effect, which can be really useful, especially on an offensive based character. And then you get more HP at a Dragon, and then your Boost Jump is going to be stronger if you have his 15 CP passive. But then we can have a closer look at his 55 and 60 passive, which give him a bit more like longevity, because he already has that because he has a Brave Attack Plus and HP Attack Plus. But he gets an AoE attack, which is nice because that's what his Boost Jump becomes, so it becomes an AoE Brave Attack, which is quite handy. And then you know Hyper Jump itself can trigger an HP attack on one target, so basically both of his attacks become Brave HP, which at this point in the game is realistically what you want. So if you have the 35 CP passive, then that's going to end up sort of giving Dispel, which is always going to be handy, and then the Dragon Dive Extend is going to... that's wrong. So then if we look at his crystal passives, his Hyper Jump Extend is going to give you access to an AoE Brave attack and an HP attack on the main target, which is quite nice because especially now that you've got a Brave Overflow of 150%, you're going to hit those caps. If you've got, say, 2 minor enemies and a main boss, it can be quite useful just to rack up Brave that way. It will extend the duration of Jump Gear, which is the passive that he has that increases his offensive stats while giving him access to the Boost Jump attack, and then the Boost Jump attack itself turns into an AoE Brave attack, which is kind of nice. So you get like a little bit of extra everything when it comes to the Hyper Jump Extend, and then Dragon Dive Extend becomes a 3-hit Brave HP attack, and more hits, as we know in this game, is always better. And then you can get 150% max Brave Overflow on that as well. It extends the duration of the named frame buff he gets from that, which again increases his offensive stats and gives him access to the Dragon attack. And then the Dragon attack then has a Brave HP attack, which obviously still heals him, and has a Wind Elemental attached to it. So basically the main shtick of Cid is that you're revolving around the wind element. So if there was ever a reason for you to want to use Fujin, because we all know I love Fujin and I really want an excuse to use her, then Cid is a good one to do so because you get the wind resist down so that his attacks are going to be stronger. But let's face facts, Fujin's not a particularly strong character, so even if you do have all of Cid's kit, the chances are you probably still won't use her. But you can use him as a Dispel character that's very self-sufficient, because all of his stats get stronger after he uses his Hyper Jump and Dragon Dive because of the Jump Gear and Dragon Gear abilities. So then he gets the longevity out of that by having his Brave attack and HP attack change. But he's kind of like a jack of all trades, but he's also still quite selfish. He doesn't have any party auras, he doesn't give any buffs to anybody but himself. He's just a damage dealer that happens to have kind of Dispel capabilities attached to him. So if you are like really kind of hard up for a Dispel character, like you don't have Vanille, you don't have Faris, you don't have Cloud's World of Illusions weapon or anything like that, then Cid might be worth grabbing for you, but outside of that, I'm not particularly keen on his base kit. But of course, the bit that we all want to know about now is going to be Cid's EX weapon. So Cid's EX weapon gives him the Big Brawl attack, which is quite a unique attack actually. It's 1-hit Brave HP, repeated 7 times, and then it randomly disperses these if there's more than one target. So it's quite a fun little ability to use. And then you also get, by limit breaking it, a delay ability on anything that Big Brawl hits. Unfortunately, you only get it once per target, because otherwise I'd be a lot happier about this weapon and I would recommend it to everybody. But because you only get 1 turn of delay, the other characters that you have that compare with him are going to be characters like Lightning and Quistis. And honestly, I think that Lightning does a lot better at a single target, whereas Quistis will, as does Quistis. Like, if you have Quistis, you're never going to use Cid or Lightning realistically, because the main thing that you're going to want is EX for. Because it's got quite a decent recast rate after you've limit broken it, you'll get the delay quite frequently. So if you want a kind of like a techie character that has a little bit of everything, like he has the Dispel, he has an elemental affinity, he has delay, he has multiple Brave HP attacks, he has longevity, he just doesn't excel at any one thing. So actually a really good point of comparison for Cid is going to be somebody like Paladin Cecil, who kind of does a little bit of everything but nothing exceptionally. So if you're starting out of the game and you want somebody that's kind of interesting in multiple regards, then Cid might be for you. But ultimately, I think that there are other characters that do every job that he does better. So you're not going to go to Cid every time for anything in particular, unless the only exception to that I'd say would be the Dispel capabilities of his kit. But if you have Vanille, then you're not going to need that either. So as of right now, Cid doesn't actually have an EX Plus going into the JP version of the game. But he also doesn't come back for quite a long time either. So what I was about to say is, if you can see on the page that I have here, Cid's EX does return much later on alongside Quistis EX and Kain EX. But whether we get a banner like this, it's kind of like a promotional banner, so we may not actually get this one. But, you know, Cid's EX Plus hasn't come around just yet, so we don't know at all what it's going to do. And it could elevate him, as it has done with multiple other characters, from fair mediocrity, like he's decent but not amazing, to some insane level. You know, Paladin Cecil's EX Plus came out alongside Vayne's, literally like as you can see on the screen there, and he got elevated a heck of a lot. So maybe Cid will get a treatment like that. So if you're a big fan of Cid, or if you're, like, as I said at the beginning of the video, there are many of them out there, then he's not a bad character to pull for. But if you're pulling purely for meta purposes, I think that now is a good time for us to be kind of stockpiling our resources, waiting for the next kind of meta characters to come along, so your Zacks, your Vaynes, your characters like that. So I think that now is a good time to just be saving gems. So all in all, do I think that Cid's banner is worth pulling on? I think it's fairly obvious from the way I've been speaking about it in this video, but the answer I'm afraid to say is no. I don't think Cid is a bad character. I think the other two characters on his banner are bad, and they'll not serve you for very long, if at all. You know, Zell is a mediocre damage dealer, Rem is a quirky but ultimately not great support character, and Cid himself is cool, but with Cosmos difficulty about to come about, he's not gonna sort of go the distance like some other characters we've had fairly recently. Cloud, Sephiroth, Renoa, Golbez, Jekt, Lena. There's loads of characters that just do the jobs that Cid is trying to do better. So, I mean, Cid is very much like Paladin Cecil in that he's a jack of all trades and master of none. And unfortunately, you need specialized roles going into some of this harder content in order to really shine during them. So that's going to be it for this video for me today. I hope that this helps you guys whether you'd like to pull on Cid or not. As I said, he's not a bad character, so if you are a big fan of his, then by all means go all in on it, and I wish you the best of luck in doing so. And as I've said already, don't forget to check out all of the social links in the description box below. Don't forget to check out DissidiaDB.com, which was the website I was using to show you guys the kits for each of the characters featured on the banner. And don't forget to check out all of the other Opera Omnia content creators out there, because there are many of us. We've all formed a really great community, and I would love for you guys to be a part of it. So thanks very much again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications, and I shall see you all soon. Bye!